So, why is it illegal to have a bikini on the beach?
I literally wear this to the beach every day.
You want us to show you? We're going to show you.
Absolutely. Did someone complain?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't just show up and tell everybody. We just don't show up and throw people in handcuffs.
I understand.
Turn right to it. Nudity display specific nominal parts. Specific sexual areas prohibited. Shall be unlawful for any person appearing in the nude on any public beach access to the public waters or any public property in the view of the public.
I'm not nude.
So nobody's nude. There's nobody nude right now.
I'm not nude.
Okay, you're in a thong.
No, okay.
Thong
is not nude. All right.
On August 2nd, 2020, professional aerialist Samantha Panda and her sister-in-law Kendall Lee were enjoying a normal day at Myrtle Beach when their outing took an unexpected turn. Two Myrtle Beach police officers, Zach Reffy and Kyle Dick, approached them after receiving a complaint from an unidentified woman about their bathing suits. According to Samantha, she was simply wearing a bikini she regularly wears to beaches. However, the moment officers confronted her, the situation escalated quickly. Samantha's boyfriend, who was with them at the beach, immediately began filming after watching the officers place her in handcuffs without giving her a clear explanation. Samantha repeatedly asked why her bikini was illegal, insisting that no one was nude and that her clothing covered all private areas. The officers referred her to Section 5-30 of the Myrtle Beach Code of Ordinances, an ordinance related to public nudity, which they claimed she was violating even though she was not nude in any capacity.
As long as it's not in a sexually explicit manner, and there's nothing sexually explicit about this.
I just read it.
Okay, nude, in the nude. This is not considered nudity. There is clothing covering their private parts. Just because she has a bikini that is more revealing does not mean that she's in the wrong.
Nothing in there says any quote unquote private parts are not uncovered. None of my private parts are uncovered. You literally detained me for being in a thong.
Yes, because of the way you're acting. So, what's going on?
Can he get off of me, please?
He's holding so that way you're going to fall.
I'm not going to fall.
It's just... Tell me what's going on.
Colin told us that we're nude and that we can't be nude on the beach. I'm not nude. I asked him to show me where it says I can't wear a thong. He said no. He told me that he wouldn't show me, and I said, okay, then we're done here. And then he put me in cuffs immediately. And then after that, they brought me over here, showed me their book, which doesn't say anything about being in a thong. It just says you can't be nude.
Jimmy Jam?
Jimmy Jam, yeah. So, I am not nude. Everything that is a quote-unquote private part is covered. You can't tell me I can't wear a thong.
With the exposure of anatomical parts, like what she has on nothing, you can't calculate.
But you can't tell us that. Anatomical parts could be my belly button. You can't just make things up at your discretion.
Listen, I'm telling you what the city ordinance is. I'm not just saying, hey, anatomical parts just say that's what the city ordinance is. So let me go pull up the city ordinance for it. Give me just a minute. I'll get everything printed out and I will show it to you. You cannot be out here with a thong, you have to have on the cover. It's actually $101 off the fee. How's that going?
You said no. You didn't want to talk to me.
She asked you to show you. She asked you to show you, and then you guys said no right off the bat. So she did say walk away after that.
Public nudity laws exist across nearly every U.S. state and are often enforced more strictly at the city or municipal level. Myrtle Beach is no exception. The officers reference Section 5-30, which prohibits appearing in public in a state of undress that exposes specified anatomical areas. Courts have historically upheld similar ordinances. For example, in Erie v. Papps AM, 2000, the U.S. Supreme Court supported a public indecency law even though it required dancers to wear more clothing. Still, courts have also found inconsistencies, most notably in the 2019 Free the Nipple case, where a judge ruled that banning women but not men from showing their chest discriminates based on gender. Despite disagreements among courts, public nudity remains a legally gray and often controversial subject. Samantha argued that her bikini was not nude, not sexual, and entirely within normal beach attire. But Myrtle Beach's ordinance uses broad, vague language, leaving large room for officer interpretation and confusion for the average visitor.
You want to come around and throw your weight around like I have to do everything you say. That's not the case. So if you don't want to show me something, if you don't want to tell me what you're going to detain me for.
I did tell you.
No, you didn't.
I did.
So you can just make up whatever you want.
It's not made up.
It is made up because it's saying nudity. There's no nudity.
You keep chiming in, you're going to jail.
what?
For talking?
Hindering.
Hindering what?
When Samantha attempted to walk away after officers refused to show her the ordinance, they immediately placed her in handcuffs. The officers later claimed her behavior justified the restraint, but without video of the initial moment, it is hard to determine whether the use of force was necessary. Legally, officers may handcuff someone during a detention if they believe the person may flee or pose a risk. The standard comes from the landmark case Graham v. Connor, 1989, which requires that any force used must be objectively reasonable. Samantha stated she simply walked away because the officers refused her request to see the law she was allegedly breaking. Throughout the encounter, the officers displayed a confrontational attitude and even threatened to arrest Samantha's boyfriend for hindering despite him only recording and verbally questioning them. His filming and comments did not meet the legal definition of hindering, which requires someone to physically obstruct or interfere with an officer's duties.
Walk away.
We have our social distance. We have our social
I'm
distance.
dealing with them. I'm investigating them right now, not you.
Okay, and I'm with them.
You're still talking.
What the? So, like, I'm so same outfit
Hey,
so many times.
Just invoke the fifth right now. That's it. Just
Yeah.
there's no need to talk and to speak with them. They're being irrational, unreasonable, and that's just how it is.
Alright, specified anatomical parts. Male, female, genitalia covered, their public head, buttocks, anus, bone, all this other stuff. That's what the thong comes. That's what the thongs come into play. Like I said, it's the original ordinance of the 530. And you can look this up on your phone too. It's not any secret school stuff.
When a supervising officer arrived, the situation finally began to calm. The officers showed Samantha and Kendall the nudity ordinance, which defines specified anatomical areas to include the buttocks and female nipples. They argued Samantha's bikini bottom exposed her buttocks and Kendall's shirt was too see-through. The problem was the ordinance does not define what counts as a thong, nor does it explain how much exposure is considered illegal. Myrtle Beach's website states that thong-style bathing suits are not allowed, but provides no visual examples or detailed clarification. Samantha tried asking what types of bikinis are allowed so she could avoid future issues, but officers offered no helpful guidance. Their vague explanations and rigid attitude increased tension instead of de-escalating it. Eventually, the officers released both women without issuing a citation. Samantha later posted the video online, calling the incident an abuse of power and pledging to challenge the ordinance and push for clearer, fairer rules.
This isn't nudity.
So,
And I'm not saying you're nude. It's the fact that you're out here in a thong. That's why we have to have a thong ordinance. We have to cover up. Two, if you're out here in a bathing suit and a cover up, you have a thong under it. That's fine.
so what's considered a thong? Because that's a Brazilian cut bikini.
We're not getting
I-
Brazilian
Because, well,
cuts
it
and
does
everything
matter.
else.
Because if
No.
I'm going to go buy a bikini, I would like to know if I can wear it.
But our ordinance just says buttocks. That's all. It says.
Okay,
that's
so then that's a buttocks over there. So
And that's what.
okay.
That was it. Okay, so can we leave now? Okay,
Yeah,
great.
okay.
Thank you. Goodbye.
After posting the encounter to social media, Samantha gained widespread support and encouraged others to question unclear local laws. She told reporters she planned to assemble a legal team to challenge the ordinance or at least make it more understandable for both residents and tourists. While no lawsuit from Samantha appears to have been filed, a separate excessive force lawsuit was brought against the same two officers only weeks later. The case involved another woman and her daughter, who claimed officers Refi and Dick handcuffed them and held them at gunpoint during a misunderstanding involving a rental car license plate. Evaluating the Myrtle Beach incident, the officers received a low performance grade due to their poor communication, lack of de-escalation, rude tone, and unnecessary threats. Samantha and Kendall, on the other hand, remained calm, recorded the interaction, and raised legitimate questions. While they likely violated the ordinance under its broad language, their criticisms highlighted how unclear and potentially outdated the law may be. Their case demonstrates how local laws reflect community values and how important it is for citizens to participate in shaping them. On August 2, 2020, professional aerialist Samantha Panda and her sister-in-law Kendall Lee were stopped by Myrtle Beach police officers Zach Refi and Kyle Dick after a complaint about their bathing suits, leading to a tense confrontation in which Samantha was handcuffed while her boyfriend recorded the encounter. The officers cited Section 5-30 of the Myrtle Beach Code of Ordinances, which prohibits appearing in public in a state of undress exposing specified anatomical areas, though. Samantha and Kendall argued their bikinis and shirts were not nude or sexual, highlighting the ordinance's vague language and lack of clarity on acceptable beach attire, While officers claimed Samantha attempted to walk away and threatened her boyfriend for hindering, the legal standard for handcuffing and obstruction requires objective reasonableness and physical interference, making their actions questionable. After a supervising officer arrived, the women were released without charges, and Samantha later posted the video online, criticizing the overreach, lack of professionalism, and vague enforcement of the law, which sparked broader discussions on civil liberties, gender equality, and the responsibilities of police to de-escalate situations and provide clear guidance, emphasizing the importance of citizens participating in shaping local laws and ensuring they reflect community standards.